Okay, I'm just unboxing my Zenith antenna, 65-mile range, 32 elements. I'm going to do a review on this. It's actually a fairly decent sized antenna. It cost me just over $60. It's discontinued. The box is dated 2004, but currently there's quite a few of them available, and I think it's a pretty good antenna for the price. Its front half is, or the back half is a log periodic, and then you've got a Yagi for your UHF and your, I guess, part of your VHF high. This also picks up FM, which I really liked because that's part of why I bought it. And I'm also probably about 50 miles south of Philadelphia, or at least the transmission towers. So I needed a long-range antenna. Looking at the RCA model that's readily available, and it didn't look that good to me, so I took a chance. There's no information on this antenna, and so that's why I'm making this video. So if you're looking at it, you can get a better idea of what you're in for. As far as the log periodic rods, looks like 52 inches each, so you're looking at about 104 inches width there. But then you also have the very back half. I don't think this is actually an antenna rod and more of a reflector or director, and that's about 56 inches, so about 110 inches wide. And just measuring everything here as far as length, it looks like it's about 110 inches long. Max so far has approved of it. You also get your converter for from 300 ohms to 75 ohms. Mounting hardware. Instructions. And when you fold these out, you don't want to do it in the house. You want to do it close to where you're installing it, because when these lock, I know from experience, they really won't want to unlock again. So you unlock it in your house, and lo and behold, you can't get it out the door. You're fighting with it. So in my case, I am mounting it in the attic. I was originally looking at a Weingard that was about $130. That one turned out to be about 14 feet long and 11 feet wide or something, and so I said that won't fit into the attic, and then I came across this, and so far looks to me like it's a pretty decent antenna. We'll move on to the next step. And here is the antenna installed in my attic. There's a lot in the way, so I'm going to have a hard time giving you a good view of it here. But I actually had to bring it up, install it in the attic, and unfold it, because as you can see, it is quite large, roughly 10 foot long by 10 foot wide, and idea how far back that runs. Here's the, up here is, underneath here is where you actually hook your 300 ohm to 75 ohm transformer. So it came there, and I am going to be feeding several TVs, so I actually had this amplifier sitting around for years, so I hooked that up to it. I'm getting tons of channels from Philadelphia, as well as picking up others from Baltimore, Maryland stations, and up into like Reading and Allentown. There are a few from Philadelphia that I'm not getting, surprisingly. I don't know why. I think they're just weaker stations, or it could be that from what I've read, the lower VHF, it's harder to pick up those signals, and then the upper VHF, and then of course UHF is actually the easier ones to pick up. And yeah, I'll give you a rundown of what this antenna is made up of. This you see here, let's see if I can move back a little bit here. This is a Yagi antenna, and these are parasitic elements or something. They're directors. This is actually the antenna right there. That's the antenna that's picking up the UHF stations. This is both a reflector and kind of a shield to stop stray signals or signals bouncing off of another building and coming up from the other direction. Because what'll happen is it'll show, those signals will show up millisecond later than the signals coming straight on. In the old days, would cause ghosting, you know, interference of the picture. Nowadays with digital TV, you know, you get your signal here, and you got a big building behind you. Signal bounces off there, comes back again, and then hits that antenna later. Get pixelation. Worst case scenario, Svengoolie's jokes actually seem funny, so it can cause you all kinds of problems. So this is the Yagi. That's your UHF. Most of the antennas that you see on the market that seem like real wacky, they got reflectors and stuff, they're all UHF antennas. They won't pick up VHF as well. And for me, picking up FM signals is also important. And that's where this hold on, let me remember the name. Yeah, remember the name now. Log periodic dipole antenna. Now in log periodic, these are actually antenna elements here. And the longer the length, the lower the frequency they pick up. So think of like a guitar string. You have a long guitar string, it's going to be a lower note than if you you know, you shorten that same guitar string, or you fret it. This, if you're familiar with playing, hit it a fret, it's going to be a higher tone. So the longer rails will pick up, longer elements will pick up the lower signal. So when you get into VHF, there's VHF low, which is 2 through 7, I think, and then VH high would be 8 through 13, something like that. The lower signals, like I can't get channel 6, which is transmitting on a lower frequency. Could be that I'm just too far away for the lower frequency to be picked up. Now, depending on where you are, you may not have any lower frequencies. So just because it's channel 3 no longer means that it's in the lower VHF frequency. As of a few years ago, it may still come up as channel 3, but it may have actually been bumped up to UHF, you know, 47. Who knows? You can actually look up that information, in which case, you know, you'll be picking up channel 3 actually on this end of the antenna. Now, if you'll notice, the log periodic here, the wires crisscross. So this antenna goes to this one, to this one, to this one, and then vice versa for the other side. And then they tie in here where this log periodic is going to attach to your Yagi through these wires here, and then the terminals for actually going into the antenna is down there. And that's about it. As far as price being $60, if you can get one, I would say go for it, because I was originally looking at a Weingard, which is probably a better antenna, had much more elements, but it was also ridiculously large. It was about 14 feet long. I realized it would not fit into my attic, and so I found this one, and I made this video basically because there is no information that I could find on this. I bought it completely blind. So if you need one and there's any still available, go for it. It's actually a very nice antenna for the price, and it's picking up the stations. It seems to be made very well. I don't know how it would hold up outside, but for my use, just barely fit within my attic, and I've been real happy with it. So if you found this video helpful, hit like, hit subscribe, send me money, and enjoy. Thanks.